the storm and air, we shoulder the pain. It's the weight we bear, callous palms and 1,000 scars hide the cracks beneath the stars. Nailed to Judy, wind to bone, stealing our voices, hearts of stone. But even iron rusts with time. We break in silence, line by line. Heave, boys, heave through the storm and air. We shoulder the pain. It's the weight we bear, callous palms and 1,000 scars hide the cracks beneath the stars. If the tide could speak, it'd call our names, tell the truth beneath the games we were taught to guard, defend, provide. But the sea still knows we've cried inside. Heave, boys, heave through the wind's cold stare. We carry the world, it's the weight we bear. Raise your glass, let the lanterns glow. Even hard men bend when the north winds blow. When the north winds blow.
Yeah. Every step I take, I build a man I said I'd be. Pressure on my back, good. It wakes the fire in me. Storms don't shake me. Doubt won't break me. I rise from the dirt where the world tried to place me. My hunger's louder than excuses ever were. My mission's clearer every time the lines blur. I don't bend, I don't fold, I don't ask for a path. I carve my own road. When the weight hits heavy, I stand tall. When the nights get long, I stay strong. I live forward, no rewind. Every scar on my body is proof of my climb. I don't break, I don't quit. I rise again every time life hits. Blood in my teeth, fire in my chest. I push past limits you thought were the end. I'm built from pressure, shaped by the grind. Unshaken, unbroken, unbreakable drive. People see the end result, never what it costs. The early mornings, lonely nights, battles that I fought, but still I move. Discipline over mood, every sacrifice made us fuel. My heart is forged in the heat of the struggle. My will is iron, my mindset is muscle. If the world says stop, I go again. If the path gets blocked, I make a new one instead. I don't want easy, I want earn. Greatness grows in those who hurt. I don't wait for fate to choose. I become the proof. I don't break, I don't quit. I rise again every time life hits. Blood in my teeth, fire in my chest. I push past limits you thought were the end. I'm built from pressure, shaped by the grind. Unshaken, unbroken, unbreakable drive.
Hey, welcome in to a Potato Eye Live. So today we're going to start off with, of course, my intro as always. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see who we have. We have quite the start off in the chat, and I really appreciate that. Looks like we've got, I'm not sure who was first. Looks like Tyler at the top, at least. Thank you for joining the stream, Tyler. Appreciate you being here. Homestead Wench, as always. Appreciate you being here. Independent Thinker, appreciate you being in the chat. If you can't be here until later, that's cool. Real Rain, appreciate you being here. Dave, I'm sorry I was late, man. I know, guys, I know. But I'm here, and I appreciate you sticking with me and being here until I get in. Wikimoto, thank you very much for joining us here. All right, and just me, as always. Good to see you. That all, everybody? If I didn't shout you out, I'm sorry. Definitely shoot, say, hey, what the hell? Hey, Pharma Cat, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate you being here. All right, so as always, I would like to start off with a inspirational quote. Let's just Google one real fast here. Nah, of course not. Inspirational quote. Now, of course, it's not going to be as easy as I want it to be. So I'm going to be doing an open panel, and what it's going to be is, let me pull up my notes here. Of course, it's not going to be as easy as I want it to. Okay, so the first discussion, or these are the 4-5 topics that I want to cover. They don't have to be all covered, and we can cover other topics if people get into the panel and want to discuss different topics. But the first one I've got is canceling culture. Is that consequences for actions, or is that mob justice? The second one is, are modern dating apps destroying long-term relationships? Number 3 is, where do rights, choice, and accountability collide? That's one. That one I'm referring to Smortions, and we can get into other categories if we want to. Do communities need reform, stronger enforcement, or both? And the last one that I've got listed is, should faith influence laws, or should it stay private? So that is what the list of things that we have going on today. So I'll go ahead and jump into the room. It looks like we have a few people that are already ready to join the conversation. So I will go ahead and join if there's nobody else in the chat. Doesn't look like anybody else has joined us, so we'll go ahead and hop in here. Hey guys, how are you? All right, hold on for just a second. Let me get you loaded up onto the main screen.
That problem went all the way into my next shift, where one of the bosses was all like, "What the hell is going on with this thing?" Because the 2 other crews told me it was your guys' thing, and I was like, "Oh yeah, X, Y, and Z is going on with it." This, that, the other thing, and then eventually we were able to hash it all out and whatnot. But it was a big thing.
So I'm not sure if you want to be in the panel or not. If
it says we have 6 watching and 8 likes, so that's a good sign.
I know, right? So
That's good.
yeah, if you want to stay, go ahead and stay. But I'm going to go ahead and switch over. So we're going to start our panel now.
I clicked on the link earlier, but it was before it started.
Okay,
yeah,
that's why. Okay, cool.
All right. So
Dave said there's an echo. Wait, we're not on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know who started though. I don't know on whose end.
it's probably. Do you have the stream running in the background?
Well, Potato's already in our group, so I'm assuming he's going to be starting it soon. I'm not listening, obviously.
Okay, so I guess I should unmute myself in the Discord. Okay, so do you have any streams playing in the background? Everything should be muted in the background.
I don't.
Yep, everything's muted on my end.
That's weird, because I'm getting an echo now.
Except for the Discord.
And I didn't have an echo before. Oh, shoot. Does that help? No, that's not going to help. Is the chat hearing an echo too?
I don't.
No.
Should we each try muting ourselves and see if it's coming from one of our ends?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'll mute myself.
Okay. All right. It sounds that killed the echo on my end. Dave said it's still echoing in the chat. Is it echoing now, Dave? Yeah, it's still echoing now. Yeah. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? You can hear me. Okay, so can the chat hear me now? Yes? Is that or is that, does that get rid of the echo, I should say? Of course, it's not going to be as easy as I wanted to. Okay, so the first discussion, or these are the, why would I do that? Jesus. Okay. Good now, but you can hear me. Okay, so go ahead and unmute yourselves in the panel. If you want.
Hello?
Then, yeah. Yeah, I've got an echo now.
I didn't know you were streaming. It almost sounds like the echo coming from me. Try it without me.
Okay. Is there an echo now?
I don't have one from you, but I do have one from me. That's so weird. Go ahead and mute yourself, Jasmine.
Okay.
Real Rain, pull your mute off. No, it must be from just me somehow. I thought we'd figured that out. Let me try to think how we could fix that. Does anybody know possibly how she can fix her settings? Because it's seeming like it's her settings. Gamer, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello?
Okay, yeah, that doesn't have an echo anymore.
Yeah, it's not me.
Trace Lore, how are you, buddy? Go ahead and unmute yourself and talk for me. I don't have you muted, do I?
Nah, I muted myself. Hey, how's it going?
Good. No mute, no echo there. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be in your.
What about now? I just changed my microphone setting.
Beautiful. Yeah,
Did that work?
Beautiful.
Okay, awesome.
All
Yay.
right, so let me get myself situated on my screen here. All right, welcome in everybody to the panel. So, like I had mentioned as in the intro, the panel. Did you all hear the intro? Do you know what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. You've at least seen the prompt.
No, I'm late.
In Discord. Okay, Gamer, what we're discussing. Let me get back into there. Of course, it's going to be in Discord, so it's not going to be as easy as I would like it to be. But I have a backup because I'm always prepared. I'm an Eagle Scout. So number one is going to be, is canceling culture just consequences for an action, or is it mob justice? Number two is, are modern dating apps destroying long-term relationships? Number three, where do rights, choice, and accountability collide? Number four, do communities need reform, stronger enforcement, or both? And number five is, should faith influence laws, or should they stay private? So it doesn't have to start out with number one, but I've heard some interest in number one. So I'll go ahead and leave it up to the panel. Is there any preference, or is number one good for you guys?
We could do one.
Okay.
I like it.
One works.
Okay. Rain, can you talk? Yeah, your mic is cutting in and out. That's what it was. That's part of, not the echo, but that's part of our issue. Because I didn't hear you say anything, so I'm not sure what that is. And Trey, you said that's good. We can start with one, basically. Okay. All right. So, being number one, let me get back into here because I'm a potato. And is canceling culture consequences for an action, or is it mob justice? So when we go online and we start to just harshly pummel somebody with insults or get them turned into their work, is that something that we should be doing? So go ahead, and whoever would like to start off, go ahead and weigh in, I guess.
I'll start if you want. I don't care. My thought is like when cancel culture first came out, I thought it was stupid because like they were constantly targeting the right and, just for saying, let's make America great again. They were targeting us just for that and trying to call and get us canceled and calling us racist and calling us all these things just because we supported making America great again. So I thought it was terrible, but now I feel like it's turned into actual justice. Now it's turned into, oh, you were up there applauding somebody being unalive. So yeah, we do need to call your boss and you do need to be fired and people should know who you are. So, my thoughts have changed on it and my thoughts have evolved on it and they could still evolve again. But currently I think it's justice. I think you want to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes.
Fair.
That's my 2 cents.
Somebody else started to pipe up just about the same time as she did. Who might have been that? Was that?
That would be me.
What do you got?
Personally, when it comes to cancel culture, kind of just to agree with just me on this for the most part, is like when I say something stupid on like Xbox, for example, that's like non-threatening, it's kind of just locker room talk for like the lack of a better term. I don't really think that constitutes like my entire life getting ruined or me getting doxxed or my family getting doxxed. But like if you're celebrating someone getting unalived and you're talking about how more of this should happen, yeah, you should be called out for that.
Sure. Yeah.
I 100% agree with what he just said.
Right.
Especially if you're holding a prominent position like a teacher. I don't want these loons teaching my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even want them as a librarian.
Well, and that's just it. If they're influencing our next generation, that's a big concern to me,
Right. And they are. So yeah, dude, F that.
Can you hear Indy?
Yeah, I can hear Indy. You can't hear Indy?
No.
But you can hear everybody
you guys
else?
Hear it? Yeah.
Does anybody else not hear
Are you
Indy?
tech illiterate?
Huh?
What was
Are
that?
you tech illiterate?
I can hear you, just me.
I hear
can
you. I can't hear Indy.
Do you have him muted?
No.
She shouldn't be able to have him muted.
Then just leave and rejoin. Sometimes that works. Discord's weird.
Which one? Just me or Indy? Because Indy just did.
Probably just me because it's the issue on her end.
Issue on her end. Go ahead and try to disconnect and rejoin. Just
It happens. It's an issue all the time.
Okay,
Really?
Indy, try saying something again.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, no.
Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I'll leave
go
and
ahead
rejoin.
and just get disconnect and rejoin, and we'll see what it does. All right. So, yeah. Does anybody have Trey? What do you got on it?
I think it's a tool that we can use, just like a tariff.
Fair. Rainey, you have anything to weigh in on? Yeah, your mic is. We can't hear you at all. No, nothing at all.
Well, Trey has his stuff on mute. You could see the thing.
No. Rain. I'm waiting for Rain to weigh in on it, basically. And
Can you hear me, just me?
Okay, so now, yeah, let's see. Just me. Can you hear Indy?
Indy, are you saying anything?
Sorry, I'm saying something now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all?
Is he saying anything?
Yeah, he's trying to say something. I'm not sure how you could possibly be not hearing him. That's frustrating because everybody else can hear him.
I've had issues like this with Discord before. I just can't remember how I solved them.
Yeah.
But I can hear everyone else, so I guess that's okay.
I guess that's all that matters.
Okay, Rain, you can go ahead and talk.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you switch over to your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
All right.
So, does everybody else hear Indy? So Indy's the one right in the center.
Yeah,
line.
we can hear him.
Everybody else can hear him.
47.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear him.
All right.
All
Cool,
right.
Trey.
So we'll go. We'll have to figure it out later, just me. Okay, so does anybody have anything that can play devil's advocate on this subject?
Yeah,
Again,
yeah. I would say
sure. Go ahead.
wherever, like, if someone's making like an inappropriate locker room joke, I don't think that should be able to come to light and be used against someone. But if someone's making obscene comments on Twitter or like in a public space, so it kind of just depends on the venue of where it happens.
Right. Well, and that's fair. Excuse me. So,
Well,
what was that? Who talked?
I mean, you can't judge anybody for what they're saying behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Anything public is what I have an issue. I don't care what you. It's basically keep your ideologies at home. I don't want them around my youth.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, and kind of play devil's advocate, I guess. If we start to play that game like the left did in the first place, they were the ones who started the cancel culture, right? They're the ones who really brought it into what's known as cancel culture now. And I'm a potato, so don't quote me on it, but that's how if I understand things right, it was kind of that side that started it, and then the right kind of adopted it because they're tired of being treated like that, right? So an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind, right? Where do we draw the line because for example, I had a story, and I don't know how accurate this story was, but a gentleman had an electric store, and his wife said some online, and they went after him because of his wife, which, don't get me wrong, that's kind of what men are for. Like, biblically, if we don't take action for our wives' talk, it's on us. And so I can kind of understand where they're coming from, but unfortunately, if I understand it how it went down right, they attacked the wrong person because they had the same company-ish name. It was similar. And so it took down the wrong person. They eventually ended up getting 2 stars ranking on their Google reviews because everybody just went in and just started just me. Are you muted yourself? Did you mute yourself? Okay. But long story short, where do we draw the line for that, right? Where a company is saying, because I've worked for companies multiple times that said you cannot post online inside of the building about the company and that kind of thing. If you post about us, you're going to get fired. That I completely understand. And I'm not saying I don't disagree with the cancel culture. I'm trying to keep a conversation going. So, and in that case, especially if we're attacking the wrong person, that's where I'm concerned with. Any thoughts on that?
I just don't really like cancel culture overall.
Not at all.
It's often used for the wrong thing.
Well, and see, that's my concern is as soon as we start into something, where can we say it's enough? Where can we say, okay, I can't do this anymore. We can't do this anymore. Where does it end, right?
Yeah, and that's really the main problem with cancel culture.
Yeah, exactly.
With cancel culture, to kind of work with potato here, is I think if it's referring to a company, you don't want, once again, if you work for a professional business, right? That business doesn't really want certain ideologies or certain rhetoric to be associated with that company. I think in a sense like that, if a video were to come out of you within a certain company saying, I believe X, Y, and Z, and the company doesn't like that, and you're within the company saying that, I think in that kind of regard, they may or may not have the reason to do so. But once again, it's definitely it's such a touchy subject where it's hard to really set a line of this is where we draw it,
Right.
Any company has the right to protect the face of the
there's 2 different kinds of cancel culture, though. When you think about company wise, think about Bud Light and the crap they did. I feel like they deserve to have people boycotting them for what they did. And like if people want to boycott a company because of the company's stance, I definitely feel like they have that option. And especially Target, with what Target was doing, I feel like people definitely have the option to boycott against what the company is saying. I mean, people have always had that right to be able to do that. It's just more organized now that we have social medias where people can get together and say, hey, let's boycott it together. So it's more organized than it would have been in the past. But I think people have always had that option to boycott a company that has company views. But as far as individuals that work at the company that did something that people know about, like when they're celebrating somebody being unalived, well, especially like if it's a school teacher and they're celebrating somebody being unalived, I kind of really feel strongly that people should be able to call that school and say, look, this school teacher is out here saying these things because this person is taking care of kids. So, I mean, in that case, I totally agree with cancel culture. In both of those cases, I do. Now, maybe if somebody works at a department store and they had this feeling, I don't know. I still kind of feel that way. I feel like if you're out here saying, I'm really happy somebody's unalived, I think maybe the company wants to know what their employees think. And they're the ones who chose to put it out there. Nobody told those people to go online and say, ha ha ha, I'm so glad this person is unalived. Nobody told them to say that. So they did that on their own. I feel like they brought it upon themselves. I feel like they do. And kind of going back to the sentiment of other people in this group of what they've said, if I'm not sharing it online, trying to put it out there, then leave it alone. Like that's not for you to dig into my, oh, you said this to a friend one day or anything like that. This is about you're going online and you're putting it out there. So I feel like anything you go online and put out there, you're willing to have shared.
Right.
In my opinion.
Okay, so Indy, I'm pretty sure you were trying to pipe out just about the same time Just Me started.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. Unfortunately, without being able to hear him, I'm not sure how we can avoid that. Go ahead, buddy. Do you have anything?
No, she said it already. That's pretty much what I'm gonna get at.
Well, you can voice your opinion too. You know, I mean, it's like on the Whatever podcast. You know, he goes around the circle, and if they just say, "Yeah, I agree," you don't. You know, I mean, again, we want to hear your piece, but I get you, buddy. Again, we gotta try to figure that out, especially for other people that might have this issue. I've never experienced that. If gamers experienced it, then maybe we'll have to figure something out behind the scenes because I don't know. Okay, if on your computer, I don't know how you would be able to do it, but if you go and there's 3 little dots on the bottom right hand corner of Indy's, well, all of our pictures, but of Indy's little square, the 3 dots, click on that and see by chance if it says mute and if that box is checked. Now you're muted.
Yeah, Just Me's muted now.
Sorry, that's because I always mute myself whenever I'm not purposely trying to talk so I don't accidentally interrupt anyone. No, it's got his user volume turned all the way up.
I didn't figure you shouldn't have any access to be able to mute anybody else, but you'd be able to mute them from you being able to hear them. I guess that might be possible. I don't know enough about Discord, but go ahead and talk, Indy, and just see by chance. I don't know.
Nah, she probably still got me muted or something. You hear me?
Yeah.
Good.
All right,
everybody.
Woohoo!
All right.
It's the potato magic touch, man. Anyway, all right. So I'm glad that we've got that figured out because everybody should be able to pipe in when they'd like to. I will do my best to try to keep an eye on green boxes around people's boxes and try to get you in. Just remember your piece, right? As it is a discussion and it's not heated, the interruptions, keep them to a minimum and as polite as possible, right? All right. So is there anybody have any more on that subject?
I do have something on that subject.
Sure. Go ahead, Trey.
Oh, I'd just like to point out that without cancel culture or bullying, it's also known as bullying,
Fair.
We would still be speaking British and eating disgusting food with fucked up teeth if it wasn't for the earlier colonial states that were supporting the United States, and they boycotted the businesses and the people that were loyal to the crown still.
He's right.
So we've been doing it forever.
Cancel culture has a pretty wide range of definition.
Fair.
Yeah,
It's not
boycotting,
really-
bullying. You bully people to bend them to your will, and you want to bully out specific traits or behaviors. You could do it with the pocketbook or with violence.
Right. There was somebody else that was just about to pipe up. I think it might have been Gamer. Were you going to say something maybe? No?
No.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on that?
Trey pretty much answered it.
It might have been my ping joining in.
And that's possible. Okay, so again, like I said,
Popped in here, Mr. B. Good, man.
What's that?
What
was that?
Yeah, I didn't even know Mr. B popped in here.
Oh, I gotcha. Right on. Yeah, so as far, like I said, I don't disagree with you guys, right? But there's gonna be a certain level of line that we have to reach, because the as soon as we start doing it, as soon as the left starts back into power, then they have ultimate power, and they start doing it to anybody and everybody that they want to. And then, like I said, the people that have businesses like myself, right, that are just trying to do right by everybody, get online and I say something that one person doesn't like, and they get their mob behind them, and that mob rule, right, gets me canceled, gets my company the stars dropped, right? They just go and they just start reviewing my company over and over and over again with 1 star, and they just get that essentially canceled, because nobody's going to hire a company that has no stars on Google with 500 reviews, right? So again, go ahead. Just me, go ahead.
I would just add in, the thing is, they've already been doing it. They started it.
Well,
they
yeah,
started
and
it,
they
and they've been doing it this entire time. And I don't think they're going to stop. Whether we do it or not, I don't think they'll ever stop. And like, we wouldn't even have to be on here with screen names instead of our own names if it wasn't for the left the way they are trying to get us fired just for our own beliefs. Even though we're not out saying anything crazy, just for the fact we want to make America great, that's enough for them to get us canceled. So, like,
sure,
you know what I mean? Like, they're going to do it regardless.
Oh yeah. Show them how it feels, right?
Yeah, because the left is straight gay.
So does that work with little kids? When a little kid starts screaming, do we scream back? Is that what we do?
We spank them.
We spank them. Yeah,
spank them.
Right. So how do we go? How do we step this up without violence, without the actual physical violence, without stooping to their level? Hey, Elmo, good to see you in. Marte, hey guys, hey man, it's good to see you. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to shout out people as they come in. But again, where does the line get drawn? And again, I'm not disagreeing, Trey. Absolutely, bullying, shame needs to come back. It does. But
I will.
Go ahead. Who was that?
So sorry to interrupt. I'll basically just say, when it comes to how do we escalate this, for example, I forget which ideology of libertarianism says it. I think it's the Mises Caucus. Libertarians believe in something called physical removal, which basically means is if we as like a neighborhood, right, all agree that we're going to support X, Y, and Z, right? Let's just say for whatever reason we have a pancake society, right? We enjoy pancakes for breakfast.
Right.
And there's one person that loves waffles so much, and then they start harassing everyone that doesn't like waffles. We as a society can get together and be like, hey buddy, stop harassing us or else. And if it keeps on doing it, we can kind of like not allow them into certain stores, and then basically tell them, hey dude, you can just take your business and go to an area where, you know, people like waffles, just because we don't want to have you messing up with our cohesion here. which is basically how it would operate. Is eventually you kind of just, if he keeps on being so much of an issue, you kind of just pick him up and you kind of just move him over there. It's not really like at gunpoint. It's kind of just, the society kind of like boycotts you, the individual.
Right.
Hey, 47, your mic's doing that thing again.
That's popping, yeah.
Oh, damn. All right, I'm gonna switch over to my phone then. So give me a second.
All right. So real quick before anybody else jumps in, Cold Fist, it's good to see you, buddy. I'm glad to see you in the chat and joining the stream. Real Rain, I don't think I've said hi to you in the chat, so good to see you in the chat. Appreciate the interaction there. I think that might be everybody. I've said hey to Elmo, maybe. It's not Elmo. Good to see you, man. And again, anybody in the chat that doesn't know that it's an open panel and anybody's welcome to join. You just have to be part of the Discord. So you have to go to the description, scroll all the way to the bottom, and then there's like 4 links, and one of them is Discord. Join the Discord. You'll have to, if you're just joining, you're going to have to go into the side chat and talk to me, and I'll have to assign you a role in order to get into the chat. If you're already part of my Discord, come on in and join the fun. Now, everybody else, please like and subscribe, share the stream and all that rigmarole, and back to the conversation at hand. Is there anybody that has anything that they would like to say? Start out with.
I got one thing to add. Okay. Potato.
Sure.
So with the cancel culture, I think it's a good tool to use, but it not at a government level. Like, we don't want to be like China with a social score, and like where you can't get a loan, can't ride a bus, can't get a license, can't do anything. But yeah, definitely not.
It's kind of what I'm getting at is so that we kind of open the door to the social credit system, right? You open the idea into people's minds that might be a way to go. And if anybody does anybody here not know what the social credit system is?
I'm well aware of how gay China is.
That's fair. And just me, you're muted. So I didn't quite.
I'm just saying, I know what it is.
Okay, so everybody knows what it is. So we don't want that here. Is there? Go ahead, Indy. Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Nothing.
I don't want that communism stuff here.
We don't want to hear it. Not at all.
Okay, so we do not want the social credit system here, right? So again, it's a slippery slope, right? Every time we give them a crumb, they want a cookie. You give a mouse a crumb and he wants a cookie. You give him a cookie and he wants a glass of milk. We've all heard that nursery rhyme or whatever. Maybe not. I'm just a potato in the middle of the field. I don't know. Long story short, we don't want to give away our freedoms, right? And as soon as we start to give them away to the government, then we start to lose our freedoms. Now, if it's just the mob, if it's just the people, we should own the vote. We should own the ability to say, hey, no, we as a community do not like this and do not agree with this. Hey, TVT, good to have you into the stream. It's appreciated for the engagement here. Again, if anybody wants to join, come on in. All right. Does anybody else have anything on that?
I think
that's a wonderful image in stream chat.
What's that? Oh, DJ?
I sent a wonderful image in stream chat.
Okay, well, I'll look at it in a minute and make sure that's not
panel chat.
The side chat. Yeah. Somebody else had something. Real Rain, were you going to say something?
Hold on. I think in terms of like drawing the line in the sand, because we're talking about it being like a slippery slope. I think that's why we need to have like our laws and everything about like what's right and what's wrong. That needs to be based in some kind of morality, and we need to base that on some kind of objective morality, seeing that it's just a set of preferences at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Anybody else have? I want to say something else was piping up. Gamer, were you say something? No, okay.
No,
you were just about to say something.
It ain't about
Yes.
a.
So
Go ahead, my-
the
Hold on, sorry.
the role that we're giving to cancel culture now used to be taken care of by the public. It was a shaming process to keep people from doing things that would ruin the public square. As our public squares become more online, that shaming protocol does fall to us as the creators to not shadow ban. Like I don't want it to be YouTube's priority to get rid of people, because then they'll get rid of people that they shouldn't. But it should be there should be some kind of public shaming platform.
Right. And I don't disagree
Yeah,
with
like
that
how we
one
can
either.
publicly shame OnlyFans models.
Right. Hold on. Indy, I know you've had something on your mind. All right, man.
Get in there,
Indy,
Indy.
I'm sorry.
it's
yeah,
your turn.
I'm trying.
You go, and then I'm gonna go.
If you got
go
anything
first.
to say, please say it. Like, everybody shut up. Like, you're muted.
Do your thing, just me. Go ahead.
Okay. So he brought up a good point about the shaming, and that reminds me of like in biblical times when that was a thing. Like the worst thing that would happen is the whole entire community would shame you. And so whenever you went to your neighbor's house in the middle of the night to ask for bread because a stranger or because like someone came to visit you in the middle of the night and you had no bread, and they would have to get up, you know, from their sleep. Doesn't matter if their kids are asleep, they have to get up from their sleep and get bread and give you bread to give to the person who came into town, because if you didn't, the whole entire neighborhood would know about it the next morning and everyone would shame you out of the community. You couldn't live there anymore. They would all shame and get them out of there. So like that was literally what happened in biblical times. So I mean, it's really not a new concept when you bring that up. So once he said that, it brought that to mind, and I just wanted to share that.
Socialism a little bit and shit like that, and like, you know, when you start having mob rule and everybody starts, you know, having an issue with that shit, it can be a problem in society too. So it's a very fine line where you gotta draw that.
Exactly. That's just it. Is again, I don't disagree with it being the people. Right. Again, I'm all for everybody being for everybody or against everybody if it boils down to it. But the people, we just can't give it over to the government. And like I said, it's a slippery slope into them saying that social credit system is just what you're talking about here, guys. Why don't we just switch it over? And before you know it, all of our freedoms are gone. Right. The digital IDs and things like that are concerning to me. Real quick before anybody jumps in, Abe, good to see you, man. I've been meaning to try to see if I could collab with you, but I don't ask for things, so that's the first time I've probably ever asked for somebody to collab with me on stream other than my followers. So I'm sorry if that came across as front. Anywho, let's get back to the conversation at hand. Anybody have anything on that?
I think one final thing to put in, kind of like what Indy said about the slippery slope into communism, why it needs to be a fine line. I think that's why our last prompt that we have is so important about having faith influence laws. Because once again, we all need to be on the same page when we do something like cancel culture. If not, it's just firing from the hip, social credit, bringing in the state, nothing outside the state, nothing against the state.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it also needs to be a public influence, not a governmental one.
Right. And go ahead, Indy. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing.
Okay. Real Rain, I want to say you were just about to pipe up.
Yeah, I was going to piggyback off of what 47 just said. I think that like is the perfect segue to the fourth prompt: do communities need reform and stronger enforcement, or both? Because like we need to have like an objective set of societal standards that we all are holding each other up to again.
Right.
Because something weird happened in 2016 where like it just seems like everything went out a window.
Yeah, that isn't I won't argue with you on that one. Before we go over to another segue or another conversation, I just want to make sure that if there's anybody that has any more thoughts on the first prompt. Doesn't sound like it. Okay, so real quick before we get further into it, you're okay, Trey. You got something?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add that in China, the social credit score is also based on how much you get paid. So if you have a really bad credit score, you can only work menial jobs. You can never move up.
See, and that's the thing is I don't know a whole lot. I mean, I know enough about it to know that I don't want nothing to do with it. But I don't know the ins and outs of it, the details of it. So I appreciate that information. Real quick, Apprentice, appreciate you in the chat. He says communities used to be much more important and immediate. As the communities became outsourced, we became insulated from the shame that naturally flowed from unacceptable behavior. And yes, again, going back to the should our faith influence laws, that last prompt that we have for the day, and we might segue into that or the one that Real Rain brought up. It doesn't look like there's anybody else new in the chat. Is there anybody else that has any? Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have one more thing because you made me think of it, or actually, I think Trey made me think of it. Trey did. So we got to think about this. If they try, I'm sure they probably will try to institute a social credit score on us. I'm sure they will. It's probably in their playbook of what they want to bring to us. It's going to be against us. We're going to be the ones they're using it against. They're not going to be using it against the left. They love everything that the left does. It's going to be, oh, are you America first? Oh, are you awake to what is going on in the world? Okay, you're the one we need to target. You better not be going out there talking about free speech. You better not go out there talking about God. You better not, it's going to be those kind of things. They're not going to want us to speak the truth. When it does come, if it does come, the social credit score, it's going to be literally targeted against us. So that is my belief, 100%. And I'm sure that's who it's targeted against in China as well.
Fair.
I agree with that 100%. I think that's where it's going to start is us, of course it's going to be everybody that's, but it's going to start with, attacking the right, let's justify this act by attacking the right, and of course they're never Trumpers. They're always going to say, yeah, let's do it. They don't care what their rights are as long as it's against that kind of logic. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Yep, it's like Homestead Wench in the chat. People used to have morals, but now it's the majority rules. No shame when anyone is doing it, right? In the moment, the people themselves, right? As you see something happening, it should be, no, what the are you thinking you're doing? That's not a cool action. That's not respectful of the other person. I've mentioned it before. I'll mention it over and over again. We need to bring self-respect back, right? Bring back self-respect. The idea of respect is gone. We don't understand respect. And if you understand self-respect, you understand respect of others. And you just ultimately do it out of you want to do it because you want to be respected in turn. Hey,
Tyler. Good, Tyler.
Very well said.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Yo, what up?
Tyler, do you have any thoughts on the conversation before we move on?
Well, I missed about 10 minutes there, and I just came back about
Same.
Same. No worries, man. Do you need any catch up or anything like that, or?
I would just.
Okay, you're just kind of
chilling. Jump in and
Okay, cool.
I don't have any immediate thoughts on it right now, to be honest with you. Just kind of listening.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure you have it because I don't want to just move on and then you go, oh, I jumped in for this point and now I can't say it. So I just wanted to make sure. Anybody else have any?
Before we move on,
sure.
I was just going to say Marte had something to add from the chat that was pretty interesting.
Okay,
he said we also have to demonstrate that these societal objective standards are. We have to do this as a nation like we did before, and there are many examples of that we can include. He just didn't want to write a book in the chat, but he just wanted to mention that we have to combat sloganeering because that's and not doing any sloganeering here because it's very easy to combat.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I must have not had my live chat on and didn't notice it. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. All right,
You know
we've
I
got
got you.
Tyler on the cam now. Sweet, right on. Anything else on that topic before we go ahead and segue over into another discussion? Since we were already almost an hour in, that's actually wow. How did that hour go already? Okay, so let's see. Let me bring up the prompts so I can figure out which one would be probably best to look at. Anybody have any suggestions?
We might have to make it 5 prompts, then we do 3 of those 5.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, those are just to make sure that, like, because again, at first we all came in, we're like, oh yeah, we all agree, and I just kind of played devil's advocate to keep the conversation moving, and it moved along well. I'm glad to see it. But I made sure that we have enough conversations to talk about through the 2 hours that I want to cover. And if we go 2.5, that's fine. But I know everybody, and because I was late, yeah, I know Homestead, I'm sorry. But I know that everybody has a life, and I do too. But for now, like I said, we have our prompts. So is there any suggestions on where we move to on the prompt? I know Real Rain had his suggestion. I can't remember what it was. And then
I like
think it was number
last
4.
prompt.
The last prompt, yeah. 4, Real Rain, is that what you said? 4?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Is that the last prompt?
No, that
Can
we have 5.
Can I start that one?
Go ahead, Trey.
Is that the one about religion?
Yeah, I
No,
think
4
so.
is do communities need reform, stronger enforcement, or both?
Yeah. So it's not quite.
And I'd
5,
like to touch.
But we'll
Yeah.
work on this one, and we'll see if we get to 5, and if not, we'll touch on 5 in another.
Okay, that's fine.
I would like to start the topic. You guys can add on, but this statement: do communities need reform, or stronger enforcement, or both? I'd like to say that at one time they had stronger enforcement until the killing of Trayvon Martin in 2012. And that was actually a neighborhood watch guy that killed Trayvon Martin. And ever since then, community watch, they don't want to get in trouble or the liability. So community watch went down, and with it, the safety of the community.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Did I see somebody piping up?
Indy, are you talking next?
Would you like? No?
No? Okay. So I forgot all about Neighborhood Watch. There used to be Neighborhood Watch signs all over the place. That is an excellent point. That's all I want to say is that's an excellent point. I forgot all about that. Neighborhood Watch completely went away. And we used to have signs for them everywhere.
Until about 2012 when Trayvon Martin got killed. That was like one of the first BLM uprisings as well. And it wasn't even a police officer that killed Trayvon Martin. It was a neighborhood
Lucky
watch
for
person.
me, I don't
And it wasn't
live
even
in
a
a
white guy.
neighborhood.
It was a Mexican dude.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, you could about Daniel Penny too, the New York subway guy that saved all them people from getting stabbed. Soon, not just Neighborhood Watch, but there's just going to be people walking past that shit all the time because they don't want to suffer the repercussions of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else on it? No? Yeah, so we had that whole defund the police and take away our force, our military, essentially, our force. And where I don't agree with that, of course, we need our police. They're very important. Salute to anyone that's out in the police force. But unfortunately,
well, not to any.
Go ahead, Indy.
Not to anyone. Let's not be a bootlicker here. You know what I mean?
So anybody that's willing to put their life on the line, I have some respect for. Not saying all respect. But yes, I don't disagree with you there. What's that? Sorry.
I got with you, man. I just needed that to be said.
Just had to mash me up a little bit there for a second. All right. So, just me. Remember, you're muted. We like to hear what you have to say.
I was just saying mashed potato when you said mashed.
That's right. All right. So, but we need to get back again, like we were talking about on the last stream, that reforming the churches, right? Getting that community idea, like Trey said, the community watch that, you know, because I still have that in my area, and it might be just that they haven't taken the stickers off their property. I don't, you know, all boomers, they don't do anything anymore. I don't know, but but long story short, I
tell me I can't watch in my neighborhood.
right? Don't tell me what to do. I'll sit on my porch with my gun if I want to. Exactly. But we need to bring that.
I'm coming through a little blurry. I don't know what that is. I was sitting here looking through my settings, but
what was that?
Oh, sorry, I derailed a little bit, but I noticed I'm blurry.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I was noticing you're kind of glitch. I'm not sure if it's in my internet or something, the settings. I'm not sure, but I'm poor. Okay. We're using Discord. I need to, I don't know, maybe break down. Freaking StreamYards is so expensive though. God damn.
Oh, dude, yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, like I said, we need to get back to community, right? The community watch, churches, funding our private communities, and get out of the hands of the big government, but still hold on to those officers, but try to somehow get more of a personal touch back. Right. You know, back in the day before there were cars, or even when the cars first started, they had bikes, they had horses. You could go up to an officer and you could say, hey, I got an issue. Right. Nowadays, you go up to an officer and you're getting shot. Right. I mean, I'm just joking. Right. But seriously, like you walk up to an officer and your heart starts racing, your palms start getting sweaty. You start wondering what that officer is going to think of you. And if you don't, props to you. But I haven't lived the best life in my life, and I'm here to say that I don't I don't recommend it. But long story short, when an officer comes up over the hill, I get a little antsy. And I know a lot of people that do obey the law. They do. I'm not saying I don't obey the law now. I'm just saying in the past history. I know many people who are all goody two-shoes, and when a cop pops over the hill, they get sweaty palms, right? So again, if you don't, cool. Go ahead.
I think it depends on, because you said if you walk up to a cop, I think that's different than if you walk up to a cop versus a cop comes up on you. I think they're two different. Well, like, yeah, you're going to get nervous if the cop's coming up on you. But if you see a cop like in the parking lot and you go over there to ask him a question, I don't think that's a reason to be nervous, to go ask him a question.
Oh, it's not a reason to be nervous. I'm not saying it's a reason.
But it makes you nervous to go ask a cop a question if you see him in the parking lot?
There's nobody else on the panel that can say that they don't get nervous when they go up to a cop.
No,
I don't.
I don't.
Real Rain, what was that?
I don't really get as nervous as I used to.
So the way I see them nowadays, they've taken to protect and serve off their vehicles. They're hiding behind bushes and under overpasses every chance that they get. They're out to get that bottom dollar, right? They have a quota that they have to make, and they're out to make that quota. And I've noticed as the economic, the social issues rise, they get more antsy and they get nervous. And that might be maybe them getting nervous, and I'm feeling it. Indy, what you got?
I'll tell you what does concern me is female cops on the police force. Like, as a concealed weapons holder, especially, dude, like if you get pulled over and it's a female cop, 9 times out of 10, like she's nervous. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. Well, I can probably guess what it is, but like probably more times than not, I had a female cop have their hands on their gun approaching the vehicle once they find out you're a CCW holder, and scared too, which is a problem, like that makes me nervous when you're nervous and your hands on your gun, you know what I mean? Like my hands are nowhere near, my weapon. Calm down.
Yeah. And maybe, go ahead. Sorry. I didn't interrupt you. I was just going to say, I don't know if it's, like I said, I don't know if it's them getting antsy because I'm walking up to them, and I haven't done it in so many years. But long story short, it almost seemed like his hand went to his hip when I went up to him to just ask him a question. And don't know what he went through in his life to be that to that point. Don't know, you know, what I can say that I've been through to feel the way that I felt, right? But we need to get back to the idea that we can go up to an officer and ask them, no matter what they're doing. Again, going back to the horses and the bikes, you could walk up to them because they weren't in a car that they could roll up the window like they didn't want to talk to you, or be hiding behind a bush, and you are basically revealing their location by going up and asking a question or something like that. And I'm a very I don't want to say paranoid person because I don't have anything to be paranoid about, but I have social anxiety, let's put it that way. And I always worry about what I'm going to say and put somebody on ease. You know, it's like yelling fire in a crowded theater, right? It's an unspoken rule that not everybody knows about, you know? So I get nervous. I'm not going to lie. I get nervous when I go up to officers every once in a while.
Potato.
Right?
I'm the opposite of that.
You're the
I never worry about what I'm going to say, and then I end up getting myself in trouble.
Fair enough. Real quick, before anybody else pops in, his words of love. Thank you very much for joining the stream. TNT, thank you very much for joining. Nature of Man 68. I'm not sure if I've seen you in the chat. I appreciate the engagement. It looks like you've been pretty active. Does anybody know who that might be? So I'm not like talking.
Yeah, I do. He's from Cools.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all those... I think I might have seen him in the chat in Cools, but thank you very much for joining. Did you promote me, Indy, or am I just lucky?
He might have been one of the people I sent the thing to. I don't know. I just went down my friends list and sent shit. Some of them sent, some of them didn't. So whatever.
Right. Okay, cool. No, again, credit where credit's due. I just wanted to say thank you if it was you. If not, just appreciate you joining the chat.
I also put it in a chill or whatever, shill your shit, you know, in Vic's Discord.
Nice. Right on, dude. I really appreciate that, buddy. I really do. Like, people doing shit for me, like it's not normal for me. So I'm blushing, man. Anyway, so any other questions?
Real quick, if I can, I just want to shout out TNT and Pumpkinhead, and I saw Elmo and a few familiar faces there in chat. Just wanted to say what's up to you guys.
Yeah,
to see you guys here.
Thanks, Tyler. Glad that you got that in. Anybody else have any points on that before we go ahead and move on? It looks like Real Rain and then just me.
Okay,
Give me just a minute. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Real Rain.
Yeah, so I understand what you guys all are saying, but you guys are focusing so much on the stronger enforcement. I think when I see communities need reform, I think that a lot of people in neighborhoods today don't even know their neighbors. So like that's one way communities need, like we need to actually like care about our neighbors so we can actually care about like what happens to them.
Exactly.
And when you hear communities, I know people want to go to like the community they live in. Like right now we're in a community, right?
Right.
And even though Alter is like, if anyone disrespects Alter in our chats, I'm pretty sure we're all gonna be like, hey, you don't disrespect him. You can talk bad to him, but we won't handle like a certain level of disrespect to our own.
Yeah, he's like a little brother, you know. You don't get a pick on our little brother. We're the only ones that have that honor, right? And we all care about the guy. We all want the best for him. We all want the best for everybody. That's just it. All right, sorry, Indy. Real quick, just let me talk real fast. So she was the next one up. Real Rain, were you done?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay. What were you saying, Indy? I'll give you a sec.
I was just saying shit.
Okay, fair enough. You've got a little bit of a delay on your phone, and so I see your green line pop up, and so I'm trying to make sure that you're being heard, buddy. And again, anybody that doesn't feel heard, just say, "Hey, Tater, what the f?" And I'll try to make sure I keep an eye on you.
Come on, do it.
Do it. What the hell are you doing? Okay, so just me, you have the floor.
So I like how Real Rain brought it back to what the topic actually was, because I was about to side rail onto something different. Because after what Indy had said about when the woman cop pulled him over, then that made me think of, I don't know. I don't know how many people here agree with me, but I don't really think that we should really have women police officers out there, because can they even unless they're really confident in themselves that they can protect themselves and everything. It's not good to have women police officers out there that are feeling that kind of way. Like, if they're going to be afraid to go up to a man's, I understand, like, even men are going to have some hesitation about certain cars that they go up to, I guess. You know what I mean? But women, I think more so. I don't know. I just don't think women should really be police officers, and they should definitely not be fire people, like firemen. Like, firemen are men.
Obviously not firemen.
Yes.
They're not strong enough.
Agree.
I can speak on this a little bit too. I think that we should get back to a single standard of testing, and if you can meet that single standard of testing, you are fine.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're a woman and you can lift 300 pounds, you know what? I'll go ahead and let you be a fireman, because you can lift my fat ass. But if you can't lift 300 pounds, you're probably not going to be able to lift me.
Yes.
So
right. But that's part of the problem, and the reason that's part of the problem is because women more often than not have to go to a more deadly level of force to get men to comply with them, because they do not have the same level of upper body strength.
Bingo.
So I just think it's a liability. Women shouldn't. It's a problem. It's the problem with DEI. That's one of the problems with DEI hires is that.
Yeah.
So, like, DEI needs to be gone. Period. But especially in major roles like that, firemen and police departments.
Exactly. Real quick, Indy, you were trying to speak, and you were.
Yeah, there has to be an exception though, because there's there has to be a woman cop to search a fucking female for that.
Yeah. Bingo.
Completely agree.
Bingo.
I think,
Yeah. So women out there, butch up, yo. I'm just kidding.
I mean, could we make it a rule that the woman is the side partner with the partners up with the man cop? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, is we need them. What's that, Indy? Sorry.
You just feed women policemen steroids.
Right. Bulk them up. Give them the T. Not the D, right? But anyway, Indy. Sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Women can work the.
Hold on, gamer. Hold on. I'll give you in just a second. What was that?
Maybe not like a partner, because I wouldn't want my safety in the hands of a woman.
Yeah.
Somebody at the police station or something, you got a couple broads waiting in the station for, to be called in for a fucking traffic. Woman or something.
Just sitting there, just drinking tea at the office. What's that?
So if it's for searching, then but wait a minute, you have to search them before you put them in the car.
Right.
And the thing is, you can trust the woman for safety if she's a good shot. A woman can be a good shot.
Well,
you can
hold on, just me. We'll get into that in just a second. Oh, gamer, you had something to say.
Nah, never mind.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I think to talk on the female cop thing for a second. When you research like the GWAT, for example, we had certain, looking through like American history, right, during like the GWAT, the American military had they had women that would be within like certain SOF units that would assist in like dealing with women, like Middle Eastern women, just because of like how their culture was and everything. So to go back on like the female thing about having females be able to search and whatnot, but I also think there should just be one system, like one test, and if everyone can pass it, like why do we need a separate set of standards? Like,
exactly.
Law enforcement and first responders need to be a meritocracy.
Exactly.
Just if you can't make the cut, you can't make the cut. I'm sorry.
Agree.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
100%.
All right, real quick before anybody else jumps in, a few shout outs. Looks like Pumpkinhead. I don't know if I've actually shouted your name out, buddy. If I did, cool. But if not, Pumpkinhead, good to see you in the chat. I know there was somebody else that was new. Barn Diesel, it's good to see that you found me. Welcome in, buddy. Homestead, you like that joke? I'm not sure if anybody else caught it, but we won't get back into it. Other than that, let's see. Barn Diesel, I don't know about the shot thing. When I was a line coach for arms quals on the ship, the majority still barely qualified. There was a few that nailed it, but most were minimum. Yeah, so okay, so just me, I said we'll get into it just a minute. What was your point? What did you say? Do you
Before
remember?
that chat goes.
Okay, what was that? Sorry,
To go with that chat. I mean, it's obvious, you know, like you can go to firearms training or just take your old lady to a fucking firearms. A lot of females can't handle, you know, the same guns or weaponry as a male can. I mean, that's just a scientific fact. I'm not saying that they can't or they can't train, but
They might not be able to hold the same caliber, but when they do shoot, women are more likely to hit the target faster than a man will because of their hand-eye coordination skill.
Fair.
So I'm not saying that women should be police officers. I'm just saying that in shooting, in that instance, they do tend to be better.
Right. And my point just was that, I mean, I agree 100%. There should not be like DEI levels. Oh, you can pass with this, but you have to pass with that. Like they should all be able to have to be on the same plane to be able to pass. Like there should be a minimum standard for everyone to pass, whether you're male or female. You should be able to pass that before you should be on the police force. Only thing I was adding was a woman can be a great shot, which kind of goes to what he just said. A woman can be a great shot. I am a great shot. Like, so you can have a woman who is a great shot that could be your partner if you needed to for the gun part of it.
Yeah.
Just
she's
for that.
Just,
you know what I
she's
mean?
just back at the vehicle waiting with her pistol at the ready, I guess, because she's not very fast. She's just a good shot. I'm just kidding, ladies. I'm just kidding.
I agree with just me.
I
agree.
To bring this all back to the relation part of community, I think the biggest issue, Real Rain hit the nail on the head with it, is the fact that like a lot of us don't know like our own neighbors. So like trust within the community is at like an all-time low, where it's like, think about it, you know, if you live in, let's say like a city, right? How likely are you to go help out like your neighbor that you don't even know if they need help?
Right. Well, and that's kind of what Real Rain was talking about earlier, is we need to get back to understanding our communities. Right. It's not just reforming the community. Well, that's by reforming the communities. That's what I mean. But I don't trust my neighbors. Unfortunately, I won't go into that particular instance. But in the past, I've had neighbors that were fairly decent, but I can't depend upon them. Right. So there's a burglar in my house. They're going to come join them. They're not going to call the cops on them. Right. You know, if your dog, you know, if they bring a steak, your dog just joins them in, you know, that kind of idea. They just join in on it. So we need to get back to.
Oh, no, my neighbors. My neighbors might help get rid of them and shoot them.
Well, and that's
a lot of the distrust we feel has been brought on by the coffee waffy times.
When you say that,
I mean, how many of us?
Potato. So, what do you mean by that?
How many of us during the 2020 pandemic were told to fear all the people around us?
Right. Well, and that's
so that fear is still there.
Yeah, heck yeah, it is. I don't shake people's hands anymore. I'm a business owner. So how do you think that makes me feel when I realize that as I'm walking away from the job? I'm 40 years old, so I'm a boomer. The handshake used to be all that it took for me, right? Now
then you converted to the weenus smash.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't do that. I refused to do that, but some people wouldn't, they refused to touch it all, right? And so even if you're like, they're like, oh, don't get 6 feet and close to me, you know, that kind of idea. So I've kind of gotten out of the habit, and when somebody throws out their hand toward me, I'm going to grab it because I'm a socially awkward potato, and I want to make sure that they feel comfortable. But at first glance, it makes me nervous, right? When I see that hand come out, should I grab it? Should I do that? Is it a no still, right? So they've conditioned us in that, what was it, 2-3 years? I was working through the whole thing, so I don't remember much of it.
Me too.
But over that time, it conditioned us. What was that?
I would say it just kind of amplified it, because like even before the beer bug, we were still approaching like all-time lows of people knowing their neighbors, associating with their neighbors.
Right. And that's been going on for a while, Rain. Yeah.
Somebody else
was Tyler. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just say I think the more that our phones have advanced, more video games have advanced, which, you start gaming as a kid and then you just grow up and you still game or whatever. But we still have our social time and our circles and whatnot. And so it doesn't feel like we don't know our neighbors, but we don't know our actual physical neighbors. It's weird, but you know what I mean? Like we're able to separate it, and that's how we choose to spend our time, I guess.
Right.
Which would be why we don't meet them. But it's more important than just meeting like your neighbors right on each side. You want to know the people that live across the street and next to them and down the street. You want to meet everybody and actually have a community. It's not just about knowing your neighbors. It's literally about, you got to know everybody and have a community and know that these people got kids, and you're looking out for them, who their kids are. So, when you're driving the bike down the street and stuff, and, that's how a community, is strong.
Yeah.
And,
when was the last time any of us went to a block party?
Right.
I was just about to bring that one up. I don't think I've ever had a block party. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. I've seen 2 in my entire lifetime.
Do you guys live in a small area, rural town, or something like that? I mean, none of that is practical in a bigger city. I live in a bigger city. If you know your neighbors, that's just going to bring on fucking a whole bunch of conflict, dude. A lot of times they take advantage of it. Neighbors are dickheads. I try to help my neighbors all the time, and I constantly get shitted on. So, like, if that "I must know thy neighbor" type of bullshit doesn't fucking work in a fucking big city.
Right.
It doesn't really work in suburbia either.
Well, and
it kind of does. Speaking of block parties, I mean, I lived in the suburb, they had block parties all the time, farmer markets and all kinds of shit. It's a little different than out there when you live out in like a suburb or something like that. Even like my dog escaped once, my neighbors found him, and instead of like turning them in, they came to my house and, bring them in. Prevented a whole bunch of shit. But that's just one thing. But now, like, living in, the main city, that's not the way of life. That's not the truth.
That's 3 words to say about the city. Fuck the city.
Well, that's not the reality of it, though,
exactly
unfortunately.
it. Yeah.
I just don't like city.
A big portion of our population
Some people
lives
don't have a
in
choice.
cities. Yeah, exactly. A big
I like
population.
the one thing I like about the city is that the city people can stay in the city and everyone else can stay out of the city.
Yeah.
I think
So-
I think to talk about I think it was Indy that brought it up. Sorry to interrupt, Tato.
You're okay.
But I think something interesting that Indy brought up is the fact that it's different in like suburbia. Like, once again, like my parents will talk about, well, my dad mainly because he was a little more social. They'll talk about block parties and the community looking out for each other and everything. And sadly, with my generation, I don't really see it. And I think Tyler was completely right when you have like the rise of technology and video games, and even then, like, everyone looks like the individual. No one really talks about like a community anymore. No one really talks about us, the we. It's usually like the royal we, as in me, what I want. It's all about me, because I'm a special little snowflake.
Right.
And I think it's an issue when you look at like the community as a whole, because like, once again, it's like, man, if my car broke down, you think anyone's gonna help me out? Probably not. So.
Well, and that also boils down to safety, right? There's so many stories of unalivings and scams and this and that and the other with stopping on the side of the road. And obviously, there's a lot of different things that we're lacking these days. But like Apprentice in the comment section a while ago says, communities used to be extended families, or at least the very least connected through shared values. Public trust was methodically destroyed, and we share no common morality. So a neighbor isn't the same anymore. So going on to what Indy was saying about the cities, I am curious, and this is, you know, just speculation, how much of it is ethnic diversity where you're fighting amongst different cultures there, Indy? Hold on.
Well, it can be, I guess, a little bit on that, you know what I mean? But even besides even just like an ethnic thing, it doesn't really matter. It's just like the city life. That's just how everybody is. Everybody got the bulldog face on. Everybody's, you know, looking at you like, you know, what the fuck you doing? You know, like for instance, you know, I don't think that I look like an asshole, but this old lady fucking dogging.
Keep going.
Thank you, Tyler.
Sorry, that's just funny. I don't think I look like an asshole. I don't think you look like an asshole either.
No, I don't think you look like an asshole.
I don't think so either.
Walking down the
Sorry,
road,
that's just funny.
I
Really
can
not.
understand, but
I mean,
you
kind of look like an asshole.
I have something though to add.
All right, hold on.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother. I did not mean to interrupt you. I was not trying to be rude.
Keep your thought. Just give me just a minute. Indy, are you finished, or did you have more?
No, like I knock on this old lady's house to let her know that her dog escaped, and she's like, fucking get off my fucking porch. And I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know your dog escaped. And she goes, yeah, he does that. Like,
Yeah, he does.
there's fucking lady, I don't know if you fucking know this, but if somebody's fucking driving, they ain't gonna stop. You know what I mean? But that's just a perfect example of how the fucking neighbors are, dude. You try to be a fucking nice person or a nice guy, and they just shit all over it. And that's kind of the reality. And I'm not trying to be negative, and it still doesn't stop me from being a good neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, I still try to do shit or fucking take out somebody's trash or something or help them, you know, if I see them struggling. But it's not appreciated at all.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Are you finished up then?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Like I said, I just want to make sure, because you got a little bit of a lag, so I just want to make sure you're not getting interrupted. Just me. You have something to say?
So yeah, I would just say.
Gamer. I think Gamer had something to say. Sorry, just me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what I wanted to say was all this stuff boils down to is how we don't live in a high trust society anymore, which is a huge problem. And a lot of the stuff that leads up to that involves A, illegal aliens, and B, all these idiots, and we don't enforce actual laws half the time, and people don't get locked up in prison who need to be locked up in prison.
Right.
We have too many crazy people out there.
Yeah, you can.
And it's all.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Tyler. Go ahead.
I was just saying they have a map that you can go on and see where certain people who have done that one particular crime, and you check your neighborhood and you're like, holy shit, these dudes are everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
The TOS breaking terms.
That's to your point. Yeah, it's to your point there, ODJ. Yeah.
Real quick, before anybody else jumps in, real quick, Just Me has been waiting, so give her a minute to speak. Go ahead.
So what I want to say is, Indy, you would fit in awesome in my neighborhood because that's what my neighbors are like. So not in the bad way, in the good way. Like, you help, like, hey, your dog's out. Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually have neighbors. They have my phone number. They know me. They call me. Hey, your dogs are out. Thank you. They escaped. Dang, those little dogs. And then, like, the neighbors will bring them back to my house, or they'll just call me and be like, hey, they're out. So I know my neighbors. So I'm the odd man out of all of y'all because I actually know my neighbors, and I've always been that way. Like, I know all my neighbors in this neighborhood. My previous neighborhood, I knew my neighbors. Before that, I lived in an apartment, and I knew my neighbors like door to door around my apartment. So I've always been one to talk to my neighbors, but I think it's just because I talk to them. I think it's because it's like I'll see them like one time, like how I met my neighbors one time was that I saw them outside looking for something. Like, are you looking for something? She was like, yeah, I dropped my earring. I'm like, let me help you find it, you know. And I just meet them. I think it's easy to meet my dog or neighbors because my dogs were in a way, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, hey, let's exchange numbers. So, and I haven't been to a block party, but I have seen my neighbors outside drinking, and I went and grabbed my own beer and went over there. I'm like, hey, you guys want to come here? Like, yes. And I sit down and drink beer with them and stuff. So it's not really a block party, but it's kind of the same. So, yeah, I actually do talk to my neighbors. So I guess I'm the odd one out on that.
Yeah. Just go ahead and rub that in all of our faces, just me. We appreciate that.
My family knows our neighbors. We don't live in a neighborhood or anything.
Yeah, hold on.
We just have a few neighbors close to us.
Hold on, gamer. I'm pretty sure Indy started.
I mean, that's all I had to say.
All right. Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. Give Indy a speak.
I was just saying that just me ain't alone. I don't know my neighbors. I knock on their door when their dog escapes, but I don't know the bitch. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Why you got a dog living next to you anyway? But anyway, moving forward.
Can I add something to that?
Sure, Trey. What do you got?
I was just going to add that are we kind of surprised that people aren't talking to their neighbors? We were submitted and we were forced to live for 2 years in fear of other people.
Yeah.
In that 2 years,
I never
people watched murder shows and some of the #1 trending shows on Amazon, Netflix. I got killed by my neighbor. Oh, my lover killed me. Push down the stairs. Murder by your friend. Murder by your parents. Murder by your mom.
Yeah,
so of course, no one's going out to meet anyone on dates. No one's going out to meet their neighbors because they're going to get murdered. I'm not surprised. It's all a form of brainwashing by media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what Tyler was saying earlier, like, this isn't like an overnight thing where it was just the beer bug, just the video game, just MTV. Like, this is a generational, like, this probably goes back to the 90s where it's like we were generationally trained to fear our neighbors.
Well, no,
I would definitely say it started in the 90s.
Yeah, because like just why like those like the crime shows that are on today are no different than Unsolved Mysteries back in the day, or what was the show with the America's Most Wanted? Like, these things go back, but it's just like
that is true, but they're more graphic.
I mean,
and there's more
the
of
Law
them.
and Order series has been on for like 40 years.
Yeah, like those things probably put like the final nail in the coffin, but like this thing is like, I don't want to like CIA conspiracy, but this thing was definitely a program thing. And like, I don't know if you guys watched it, but like King of the Hill was probably like the last TV show that was showing like, hey, this is like how awesome it is to have a great community around you.
Yeah, in the 90s, if I think about it, they had People Under the Stairs, The Burbs, and they were all shows about like murderous neighbors, or the house in the neighborhood that was full of psychos and murderers.
Look at you old people reminiscing on times that are better than what we live in now.
Sorry,
yeah,
bro.
you had to be there.
The 90s was the shit.
Right, for real.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. It seems better than now.
Right.
It was.
The other thing that they did in the 90s that was degenerating was they make dads look like they're dumb and men can't do anything.
Yep.
They had stuff like that, but then they did have like
I'm stuck in the blinds.
Right.
Yeah, they did have
all
some,
that
but
crap.
Carl Winslow. I mean, even Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in one game. So I mean,
right. All right, hold on.
Yeah, I'd say that more started in the 2000s.
Right. Give me just a second, guys. Let me shout out a few new people. It looks like Eldrick Runs. I believe I know who you are. Welcome into the chat. Never seen you in the actual live chat, so very much appreciated you being here. I feel like it's worth noting that in Scripture, a neighbor generally refers to a brother or sister within the faith, not Joe Schmo down the road. It's contextualizing or contextualizing. I'm just kidding. The way you look at neighbors. So yeah, good point there, Elric. And again, welcome into the chat. Appreciate you being here. I don't see anybody new in the chat. Just kind of browsing over, seeing if there's any points to be had there. Yeah, I kind of got distracted, so go ahead and go back to it. I don't have anything to say right now.
If I may, just real quick, I just want to say what Homestead Winch highlight what she said here. Perfect. The yard signs that tell who you voted for have broke down the neighborly love. That's an interesting point.
That is actually good. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm trying to browse through it. So
excellent point.
Well, I'm lucky.
I was just gonna say,
area.
think about when those started. When did we really start?
I live in an area where everybody doesn't put up signs because everybody is just conservative.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that.
But think about when yard signs started appearing. It was like late '80s, early '90s. We started seeing more and more yard signs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it was 90s, 2000. Yeah.
I think
they've always had campaigning signs.
Well, they've always had campaigning signs, but it's not been as prevalent as it has been in the more recent decades, if you will. And what's funny is, and a quick shout out, I believe it's Murder the Mouse on YouTube, I believe is the one, but he does cameos or whatever you want to call them on The Simpsons. And it's funny that we talk about this because The Simpsons are one of the bigger shows that pushed that, Homer being this dumb big oaf, not being able to do anything by himself. In fact, I want to say Andrew Wilson has talked on this, and thank God for Marge. If it wasn't for Marge, Homer would be this dumb big oaf and he wouldn't be able to do anything by himself, right? So it's been wearing into our brains in one way or another, different TV shows, bringing us into this idea that we're not supposed to be men. We're not supposed to be the providers. We're not supposed to be the analytical minds. We're supposed to weigh on our wives. And frankly, I'm tired of that, guys.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be the provider again. I'm ready to be the protector. I'm ready for men to stand up and be men again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on that note, shout out to the dads out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that. Single dads especially, but dads of any sort, you are the backbone of the community, along with tradesmen, of course. While we're doing shout outs to the backbone of the community. As one, I know what it takes. Oil-filled trades. If you do trades, it's hard work and props. That's basically
and truckers and the mechanics that fix it.
So you drive machinery, you fix the machinery. Yeah,
absolutely. Mechanics and all of them. We really appreciate you. If you see this, thank you very much for your service to the communities. And of course, as always, the military, we appreciate your service to the nation. Anybody else? Anything more further on that? Yeah, Indy, it looks like you got your hand up first. Hold on, Taylor.
Okay, I'll add after Indy, please.
Yeah, just keep it in mind, please. Indy, go ahead. You're muted, just so you know. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, well, again, rewinding all the way back, I was trying to get in there, but we got way off to where I was going to talk about.
Sorry.
The neighborhoods in the cities, and that's why I'm a huge advocate for getting the churches back. I think it's important because in these cities like this, you don't really have a sense of community or a base community, and that's why I'm huge for getting them churches back, man. And it all goes back to kind of what you were saying, in another panel on the other day,
right,
about getting the and shit. I think that's really important, for all kinds of reasons, but yeah.
I agree. I agree fully. What's that? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What was that?
Nah, go ahead.
Okay. I think it's going to be really important to get back to the communities, to get back to the individual people. While and of course this is an individual handout or outcry to individuals, right? People, as you see somebody walking down the road, like we've talked about, if you see a kid on the side of the road and you don't know where their parents are, maybe start think at least putting it into your head, where is their parent at? And as you drive down the road, making sure you're pointing, you're noticing their parent. I don't know. All I do know is we need to get back to the neighbor. It's like, again, Elric Runs mentions the people of the faith, right? And even if you're not of the same faith, it doesn't mean you don't understand the good that can come of just putting your hand out to somebody and saying, hey, you're seen, right?
100%.
Anything else?
Can I mention?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at the success of the community in Japan.
Success of a community, their population is dying.
Well, and that's
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I want to
They're
say
very technologically advanced.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tyler, I think you had something to say. So.
Oh, I was gonna say.
But it's all community based.
Hold on.
Two things. On the church thing, yeah, definitely that's probably one of the best places to build community. Ultimately, that typically is built up around folks, because some people drive a little ways to get to church and pass a bunch of other churches. That's actually what we do, but if something were to happen, just in the worst case scenario, would rely on our community, our neighbors, you know what I mean? You want to know those people. Ultimately in that situation, that's who you're going to be working with or against in that situation. But the other thing was TV. They're doing it to women too. Right. I was watching somebody and Mandy get married or something. I think it's a spinoff of like Big Bang Theory or the other one that was the spinoff of it or whatever. And it was like the second episode, and it was just recommended to me. It auto played after I watched something like on an app, like maybe Paramount or something. And I watched the first episode. I was like, all right, it's okay. The second episode went to play, and about a third of the way through or some part of it, the younger woman was like, ooh, who wants to raise a baby and stay home and be a mom? And like, she was so repulsed by it. And I was just like,
hell nah.
Yeah.
Actually,
like, this is crazy.
Big turn off.
Well, and see, that's just
funny anecdotal evidence on that.
What's that?
So sorry to interrupt again, Potato, but funny anecdotal evidence on that. So I know this, piss in the wind, right? Because it's anecdotal, but there's so many women I've talked to, and we've had like this conversation where they're all like, I would hate having a kid. I don't want to have a kid, this and that. And I'm like, oh, just you wait. You're going to find a guy. You guys are going to settle down. And then you're going to look at me and you're going to go, you know what? I wouldn't mind having a kid with somebody. And they mocked me on it. They laughed at me. Lo and behold, I shit you not, it's like 3 months later, and we're having a conversation about something else. And then she looks at me and she goes, you know what? You're absolutely fucking right. Because me and my husband were having a conversation, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind having a kid. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. And I've had this conversation with, I want to say, about 3 different women. And it ends up being like the same thing, where they're repulsed by having a kid. They don't want to have a kid. And then they meet a guy, and that's like, you know what? Would a mom really be that bad?
And that's there's a lot of women I've been meeting, and now that I'm 40 and I've got a lot of women not a lot of women because I'm a potato and nobody wants to talk to me, but I have women that do talk to me, and they're of my age, and they're like, I need to have a kid, but I'm just so I'm shriveled up, whatever the case may be, right? And I try to give them hope. I mean, you can have kids into your 40s sometimes, but it's rare. Indy, it looks like you've got something to say. What do you got? What are you saying?
It's just you, bro. You got all those women asking to get impregnated by you.
They just trying to get that potato. I've got lots of eyes, I guess.
Plus the rumor circles around.
Hot potato.
Hot potato. I'm not a 304, guys. Give me a break. All right. So, anybody else have anything on that?
Well, I wanted to add something to community and churches.
Trey, go ahead.
So I think that's a good idea. But I think it would be hard to get people to pay the church tax, the tithe.
Well,
but
sure.
That being said, through the history of society and Western civilization, every single city has been built around an abbey.
Well, not yeah.
Well, that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to add one more thing to the church community, if I could.
Hold on.
There's a weird noise
Tyler.
coming from somewhere.
Hold on, everybody. Just give me Indy, you got something in the background, maybe? I think that's what it was. Yeah. Okay, Tyler, I think you should be cleared now. Thanks, Indy.
Okay, I was just gonna say one more thing about the church community. It doesn't just mean go on a Sunday. That means plug into one of the communities and actually become a part of the church. That's the community that I'm talking about. That's the people that revolve around that. That's the community.
Right. Exactly. The people of the faith are going to, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I understand that the tithe is going to be hard to get people to pay. Even the people in the church. But if we get rid of somehow, and of course this is going to be going back to the government thing, but if we get rid of income tax somehow and people have more in their pocket, people they're almost naturally prone to help. Right. You see somebody on the side of the road, you almost instinctively stop and try to help them. But it's gotten to the point where we're so scared to stop that we no longer do so. I think that if they had
most serial killers are hitchhikers.
What's that, Trey?
I was just chiming in. I was just saying most hitchhikers are serial killers. That's what.
Well, and that's what we've got so scared of at this point in time. And so we don't offer that helping hand anymore, and that's what's concerning to me.
Go
ahead, Tyler.
One thing that I know is when you tithe, it's a write-off on your taxes. So you'd be surprised at how forthcoming people would be to tithe.
Yeah. If they have the money, if they have the means, with the fact that they can write it off on their taxes, it's again, getting rid of that income tax. Real quick, just me. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and also regarding the tithe, one thing in the Bible that God says, test me in this, is regarding the tithe. Like, test me in this bring your first and your best to me and watch me open up the floodgates of blessings for you. Like, it's to me, it's a no-brainer tithing. No-brainer. But my question is, is this a new topic or we're just spinning off? I'm just curious. I didn't know if this is a new topic. And that's one question. But the other thing is, I wanted to say something about being repulsed by having children. I can't even imagine that. Like, me and all of my friends were wanting to have babies since we were little kids. Like I can't even imagine. So it has to have something to do with the way what their society is doing to brainwash people as they are women, as they are as they're growing up now, that they think, oh, I just couldn't even imagine having a kid. I would hate to have a kid. I can't personally picture being.
All right, hold on. All right, yeah. So a little bit there. We segued off. So we're still talking about communities, but we've kind of segued off a little bit. Why do you ask the question, Just Me? You're muted. Maybe. You're okay.
Sorry. No, I was just asking because I didn't know if we moved on to the next question yet.
I got you.
But I just wanted to
touch base on
that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I
like
a good
it.
segue. I just want to make sure that we're done with the conversation. Gamer, you were just about to chime in. Go ahead.
I wanted to chime in and mention, based on my experience as being in high school, that these girls are definitely being brainwashed by what's around them.
Yeah.
I can confirm.
Right. Well, and that's why I'm trying to get out there and get as many logical voices, both sides, but more hopefully on the side of logic. You know, right, left, stupid, because the right side, the correct side, the side of logic, right? We need to get back to logic. And so I'm trying to get more voices out there. And so the more voices that are speaking logic into the ether, we're going to get back to that mob mentality, back the opposite way than we've moved to now, right? Kind of again back to the chat. Apprentice, very true, Tyler. Sunday Christians are just checking a box, and 9 out of 10 are no better than the people you want to avoid. If you can't sacrifice more than 2 hours a week, then you clearly won't be there otherwise. So again, we need to get back to self-respect and respecting others and the community.
Right.
There
and if I can just elaborate on that real quick.
Yeah, I think you should be good. Is there anybody else that had anything that I said to hold your thought? I think
let Tyler go ahead.
Okay, Indy, I think you got something going on in the background still too. So try to mute yourself when you're not talking, please.
Guys, you know I like to talk. I can talk for 4 hours straight.
Well,
you know,
so can I. And so I'm
forgive
trying
me
to
if
give
I'm yapping
everybody.
too much.
You do.
Yeah. So that's just it. Is I can too. Obviously, the other day we went for 5 hours. But go ahead, Tyler. Oh, Indy, I didn't mean for you to leave, buddy. Yeah, I hope that didn't offend him. Anyway, okay, so.
Yo, I gotta go too.
Oh yeah, you're good, dude. Okay, so conversation at hand. What do we have in mind? Is anybody, while I'm doing something?
I can get us started on the 5th prompt because it's a good segue. We're just talking about religion and community and churches. Should faith influence laws or stay private? I'd say faith should never influence laws, because what if it's the wrong faith? What if it's satanic cult? What if it's polygamy? It's like, yeah, polygamy is okay now because faith influenced it.
Trey, I would like to. I'll let Rain go.
On that note, I think I need to hop off now because I do not want to give any ammo to my opponent in our debate on Tyler TV with Tater hosting.
Fair enough.
Nope.
Yeah, if you want to go, that I completely understand that. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Tyler TV, please check out Tyler TV. The Friday night debates. I'm going to be moderating that between just me and Real Rain. So please tune in. I'll actually let Tyler shout his channel out because I'm a potato. And, go ahead, Tyler.
Well, I've been commenting in chat a little bit, and you see Pumpkinhead just added Go Tyler TV. That's me. If you go to your search bar, you click that, Go Tyler TV, you'll take you right to my channel. Make sure to, subscribe, ring the notifications, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, I appreciate you. Let me shout it out. And like I said, I can stream and talk straight for 4 hours. So, forgive me if I'm yapping too much. I'm a talker. So, and I'm kind of new to the whole more than one person on the stream at a time.
Right.
So
yeah, I feel you. That's just it. Is I'm still learning. I know that there's going to be some places that I'm going to have to be rude, but I don't like to be. So every time I tell somebody to shut up or something like that, I promise it's not like, it's nothing personal. It's just, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody's heard. But Tyler, you were just about to say something.
What I just said, I don't mean to be rude. I didn't want to step on Indy's toes or Gamer or anybody, by cutting in front of anybody in line. Like, I'm not, like I said, I'm new to these whole
panels,
round table kind of panels. Yeah, exactly. See, I don't even know, the panel's not even at the tip of my tongue. So
that makes sense.
But yeah, man,
well, this is not a panel. This is a tater party.
This is a tater tots party. Yeah, right.
All right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right, see you, Real Rain.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, so
welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, Indy.
You guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Do I have a lag?
Real quick, just me. Don't say anything today that you might say tomorrow. You don't want to give him ammo either.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
I don't see how this topic relates to our debate topic tomorrow. So I think I'm good.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay,
Can you guys hear me? Do I got a
so-
lag in my stuff or anything? Am I good?
Can you go on
Yeah,
cam?
yeah.
Can you go on cam?
Can I go on cam?
Yeah.
My phone's about to die.
Oh, I got you. Well, then
Yeah.
don't worry about it. It's just that was how I knew that you had a lag. And so I was able to see that you were started to talk, and so I'll keep an eye on that green line around your picture.
Well, it's just acting funny. I had to do some things on my phone and delete some things. I think I had too much data or something, and it was just acting funny. I don't know if I still have a lag.
Gotcha.
Here's the cam. Do I still got a lag going on?
No, you look actually real clear now, like clean. That looks good.
All right.
Yeah. So who was that? Go ahead.
Just to kind of get us back on track here. So Trey said that faith should have no place in laws, correct?
That is correct. Faith should not be a deterrent to make a law and forge a law. Because if you have faith in the wrong thing, you might enact the wrong law. I'll give you an example. So what if, this is a what if, what if an ancient Aztec witch doctor became president or the DA and started enacting laws based off of their faith and their gods?
Right.
And they were like, hey, it's okay to just sacrifice people to end drought. It's okay.
Right.
So what if we make sure to set it to Christian principles?
Well, we'll get into that here. Just a minute. Hold on, guys. Just Me's got her hand raised, so let her go ahead and speak.
Well, that's pretty much what I was going to say. We are a Christian nation. We need to be founded. We need to be a Christian nation. We were founded as a Christian nation. Our laws should be based on Christian principles. I feel like we've moved too far away from our Christian principles, and that's why we're in the problems that we're into right now. And I think we need to get back to our Christian foundation, which is what this country was started on. That's my opinion on that.
Actually, that kind of solidifies my position because they had faith in nothing, and they're making laws and rules, and they're going away from the Christian way.
Well,
exactly.
Yep.
So it only works if we're the majority.
Right.
It's always the majority bending their will and forcing their will onto the minority.
Right.
So
sometimes, but I feel like we.
Hold on, just me. Just 40 seconds.
I think. Yeah, I think. Sorry, I think like the main question I kind of have about this is, if we cannot utilize faith to sort of foundate a law, what other kind of principle can we base it off of? Because morality, right, if you really look at it, is nothing more than a set of preferences. So if we cannot base that in, let's say, Christian morality, how else can we kind of create a law that dictates some kind of moral principle?
You can't.
So
there you go.
So let me point this out. There is a Christian religion out there that is believing and preaching and making people believe that Christ would be willing and happy to walk you through the susmortion process. So how do we differentiate between those Christians and us Christians?
Another good example of that, Tato, is the Juanita cult. Back in the 1800s, it was in New York, and it was a separate sect of Christianity that supported polygamy for their own personal gain. And actually, the guy who assassinated President Garfield was part of that group, the Juanita. And then they started making silverware afterwards.
I've been to Garfield's gravesite here. And another thing, I forgot what I was going to say about that, actually. I just smoked and fucking, yeah.
Fair enough.
I would say we would need to base it on the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible. Get the values from the Holy Bible. I don't know what this, I forget what you said it was called, Sisquashian or whatever. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that.
But
I was just going off of the prompt, by the way. We shouldn't make laws on faith. Well, we can make laws off of like Christian
The Holy Bible.
On the Bible.
So which
that's where I was
which Bible? Which
Holy
translation of the Bible? Because I'm sure that the Christians that call themselves Christians and are okay with submersions are reading a Holy Bible.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, no, they aren't. I mean, they're reading it, but they're nowhere
reading
in the
Holy
Bible.
Bible. Whether
It's not okay
the
in the Bible,
Holy
though.
Bible or not.
Well,
So what
again,
is the
They
Holy
can't
Bible?
point to a place in the Bible that says it's okay.
Who's
Here we go.
interpreting that Bible?
I got it. The 10 Commandments. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
No way can they point to anything in the Holy Bible that says that that's okay. Fact. They
I
cannot.
mean, they can point to somewhere in the Bible where it says that it happened.
And that's
and it
what
was
they're
a
trying to
terrible
point
thing.
out. Yeah, we're not saying it's
well,
agreement,
but just me. Look at the Catholics, though. They did that, and still, I would say, still do that. You know, I would say that they still use the Bible to, even though people still know the Bible who are going to the Catholic Church, they are able to use the Bible and sway others in their own way. You know, first a little small example is like all is welcome. God loves everybody, which is a fact. God does love everybody, but all is welcome to the church with the gay flag, or something like that. That's the Catholic Church does that all the time.
I would disagree that the Catholic Church uses the Bible to say what they do. Like the Catholic Church, I think, does like 40 or 50 different rituals that aren't in the Bible at all whatsoever. So, majority of the stuff that Catholic Church has nothing to do with the Bible.
All right, just
they constantly use the Bible to interpret their way of logic. They have for forever.
I would be interested to learn more about that because, like, nowhere in the Bible does it say worship Joseph or any human being as a saint.
Nowhere in your Bible.
The Holy Bible.
It does state in the Bible not to worship, but that there is some kind of hierarchy. Once again, I am like somewhat Catholic, but I'm like really shitty at practicing the faith. But I know there is a hierarchy. Mother Mary is on the top, right below. I believe it would be like the Holy Trinity.
Right, but that's not
once
the Bible.
again, I'm not good at this, but
see what I mean, just me. That's what I mean. Exactly.
That's
what I mean, though. That's what I mean about the Catholics, though. Like they can interpret the Bible into the way that works with their logic.
Yeah,
I think it would be another excellent debate topic.
Well, and that's
the first church stated the fact that there has to be some kind of like hierarchy in terms of like who's going to translate like the Bible and everything, which is why we end up with like a pope, because you need some kind of like spiritual figurehead. Because if not that, then you fall into Protestantism where, your own interpretation is just as valid as everybody else's, which is kind of how you have like these weird cults and everything that kind of come off of this sort of principle where your own reading of the Bible is valid because that's God speaking directly to you, where that's a whole debate in of itself on whether or not that's accurate or not.
Well, I mean, the Bible is translated from the original text. So the Bible is there word for word the way it was from the beginning.
What's the original text?
The original text of Hebrew, whenever the parts that were written in Hebrew.
Okay. So what was the original? What was the direct translation from the original text? Do you read that?
What do you mean the direct translation?
I mean the direct translation. I'm not sure how else to describe it because you're not reading the direct translation from the original text. You're reading a translation of a translation of a translation of a translation.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Just me. What Bible do you read?
I read all the different versions. They'll word something a little different. It means the exact same thing.
No,
and
they don't.
They all come from the original text. All of them do. Every translation comes from the original text. It's not translation after translation.
When you translate a word, is it just a straight across translation?
What do you mean?
When I translate a word, is it easy? Are you guaranteed to have the translation understanding in that first? Is it one and done? Is there only one way to translate things? That might be the way to word it.
That's why I say each person that's translating from the original text, each of the versions of the Bible come from the original text. They might word it a little different, but it means the same thing.
But
So
it doesn't. So there are three different ways to interpret almost every word from Hebrew. Once it's interpreted, those three different ways can then be practically three different ways in and of themselves, each and every one of them. So the fact that you read multiple Bibles is what's the word I'm looking for? Hopeful, whatever you want to call it. But if you only read one Bible, you're reading something that's been translated multiple times. The New King James Version, especially the New King James Version, isn't even the King James Version. It's been translated yet again.
It's in more modern English.
Right.
I have the King James Version. That's what I go off as the King James Version, not the New King James Version, the King James Version.
From original text. It's just new, it's newer English.
How do you know that it was
the reason why
translated?
King James.
Go ahead, Indy.
Huh?
The reason why King James even wrote the King James Bible was because the Catholics had it in whatever language the Catholics had it in, and most people couldn't even read that language, and the Catholics started directing the whole religion to their way of logic and thinking and preaching the Bible the way they wanted to preach the Bible. And King James
Latin,
said,
Greek, and
like
Hebrew.
That. What was that?
There you go. Those were the language.
The Bible was originally written in Latin, Greek, and Hebrew.
Right.
Yeah, and only the Catholic priests knew that shit. So King James wrote the Bible in English, went to several of the every church leader, Christian church leader in the whole world, and gathered upon everybody to say, hey, is this the correct translation from that text that Mr. B just said? And they all agreed that's a wonderful translation, and that's when he released it. The King James Version of the Bible, English, from the text that Mr. B said.
Well, and we're getting into
what they're doing when they write a new Bible is they actually go back to the original writing on the ancient papyri and they transcribe from that into what they're writing. There's no, I made this one and then somebody made this one off of that one and then made this one off of the third one and then made this one off of the fourth one. They go back to the original text.
Sure,
that is a common misconception that people think happened that does not happen.
But again,
and that's why it's important to have a pastor, a teacher, a leader that actually can speak these other languages so that they can tell you what it means when they wrote a specific word or made a specific symbol that doesn't directly translate into the English language. It's just not possible because of the way that they used to speak and construct words. They had different emotions and feelings and things that were associated with it. And it just doesn't apply today. And so that's why it's super important to have a teacher that knows these and read it off the original thing. They can read the current Bible that they're preaching out of, and then they can tell you the difference in and explain what you're reading out of this new text and how it meant when it was written as well at the same time.
Right.
Because that's why all of us are not going to understand Aramaic, Latin, Greek, Hebrew, and be able to translate it.
Right. So that's what I'm getting at is you need a pastor that speaks those different languages. If you're not speaking to someone who speaks those different languages, you're taking it from somebody who you don't know, and you don't know how they think. You don't know the translation in that. I see Dave shaking his head over there, but it doesn't matter. If you don't speak the language, you don't know the translation. You just trust in them for the translation. But Dave just hopped in, so let him speak. Go ahead, Dave. Hold on. Let Dave speak. Go ahead, buddy.
Have you ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls?
I can't.
Cutting out.
You cutting out. I'm sorry.
You're real quiet, bud.
He said, have you ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls?
I vaguely.
I have. Yeah, I have with the Book of Enoch as well. No, it's the first Book of Enoch. But no, not the Dead Sea Scrolls. I'm saying I have along with the Book of Enoch.
Yeah, okay, so the Dead Sea Scrolls, there was the other right next to it. So anyone who's saying that, we got it from translation to translation to translation, I highly, highly recommend a guy named Wes Huff. Now, he's a guy that has dedicated his entire life to the biblical text. What you guys aren't realizing is that we have over 5,000 ancient texts, ancient scrolls from early 1 and 200s.
Am I the only one having sound issues with Dave?
No, he's popping in and out.
He's kind of cutting in and out, unfortunately. Yeah. So
I think he's trying to.
I'm not saying that we've got a translation upon translation. That was not necessarily to drive a point home, misspeak, whatever you want to call it, but it's the fact that we don't speak that language. And if you, like Tyler was saying, if you don't have a pastor that speaks that language, you don't know the translation of it. But we've delved into a theological debate, and that's not what we're looking to do. We're talking about whether faith should rule over law, not what religion should do it. So if we were to say in this hypothetical that it were to be Christian, the best Christian ethics that you can possibly have, how long until the Christian ethics become devolved into something? I don't know exactly, but I don't know. Again, there's too many different religions out there that call themselves Christian. Maybe Dave can.
Yeah, I get that.
Right.
I get that part. I will just real quick, if I may. It is a curious thing, and this might throw a wrench in the whole construction of this argument. I'm not sure of this, but just recently, Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, allowed and honored and put up a statue that was given to him from the coalition, the Democratic Coalition of Satan Worshipers. They gave him a plaque, and he put it on display in the Minnesota Capitol, in the state Capitol building. So when it comes to rulers making the rules, you got stuff like this going on. It's kind of a caution to allowing too much.
That's a good point, and that's why I'd still say no on that. Can you imagine a fully Christian nation, and then to be a man is to err, right? We always make mistakes, and we always have things we strive for. And it would definitely, there would definitely, over a period of time, there would be a zealot, and they would just, that's it.
To kind of play into Trey's whole remark on things, whether you like it or not, societies will crumble and they will fade away. Time always takes, nothing lasts forever. With that being said, I believe that, once again, if you base it in faith, once again, it needs to be a foundation. So it's a whole, like, we can get into like the weeds about everything. But right now, if we're just talking about whether or not faith should enact laws, I personally think something has to, right? If not some kind of religious principle, what else is there? And we all agree that there needs to be some kind of religious principle, that being Christianity. I think Trey brought up a really great point about being like the 10 Commandments, which is something set in stone. There's no really way to misinterpret what's there.
Literally.
So.
Well, I mean, you can't really misinterpret the Bible when it comes from basically original text, neither. But
the Juanita cult did.
Well, again, it kind of boils down to what Tato all bring this whole conversation to, is what religion is the right religion.
Right.
And that's kind of what I, after reading the Bible, the little bit that I guess I have, it kind of bring me down to like kind of orthodox kind of way of thinking. That's the original type of religion. That's the original way to follow, I guess. Like after especially seeing how the Catholics, and like you just said with the cults, translating it into their way. I see that the Orthodox religion doesn't really do that. They go by the original kind of text, the way it's supposed to be. I feel.
Yeah, yeah, and that's actually how the cult got started, is because they were brothers, Christian brothers, and one had a vision, and he thought it was okay to sleep with his brother's wife, and then he wrote it into law, and this was a separate cult called the Juanita cult that allowed polygamy, and it was a commune, and this was in the 1800s, and it's wicked, but I wouldn't want to be ruled like that.
Always gonna have somebody that twists scripture.
Yeah, this is very true. Whether you like it
Yeah,
or
they
not,
had
there are
hundreds of
gonna be bad
followers.
people. Yeah,
They had
it's
hundreds of followers.
Okay, hundreds of followers compared to the what 8-9 million.
Oh, this
that we have
goes
right
to
now?
what I said before. It's the majority ruling the minority then. Whose faith? Whose faith? I know it's aimed towards Christianity, but there's just so many sects. You got the Trinity of Christianity. They all made their separate laws. Some thought Jesus was the Father. Some thought he was just the Son. Some thought he was the Holy Spirit. Some thought he was all three. And they all made laws based off of that. Separate laws.
And that's why debate is necessary, because Trinitarians and monotheistic people have been debating 2,000 years. Trinitarians have always come out on top.
Fair.
I wonder if that's how we could use our states, how our states are divided.
Completely agree.
Were you done, Dave?
How you mean?
You're kind of still
How you
cutting
mean,
down in and
Tyler?
out, so I just want to make sure Dave has spoke his mind. Hold on, guys.
Yeah, the only thing I was saying before was that we have these scrolls. If you look up a guy named Wesley Huff, we have the scrolls from
Dave,
2000.
man, your sound's really off, man.
As soon as you try to mention the guy's name, it cuts out every time.
It almost seems like a conspiracy.
I mean, I know kind of where Dave's going.
An
With
Obama phone, Dave.
I think he said Wesley Huff.
Yeah.
Wes Huff.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to check it
Yeah,
out.
Wes Huff.
Yeah, I
has
think
done a lot of
basing it off
research
of like the
into-
10 Commandments would be better.
But he's saying we have the scrolls.
so-
that is correct. That is correct.
So the issue that I have with the 10 Commandments is, what are the 10 Commandments, right? Thou shalt not have any gods before me. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt honor thy mother and thy father. Do we have a mother and a father anymore? Do we have a structure that we call, the 10 Commandments worthy anymore? I don't know exactly what it was. I can't remember exactly the talking point, but I remember thinking about that and saying if we were to book it off the 10 Commandments, there might be a little bit of a concern there for some reason. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I'll let you guys go ahead and speak if you got anything on it.
Well, because if you were to just base everything off the 10 Commandments, wouldn't that just be easy to exactly lead you astray? You could translate the 10 Commandments in either which way. If you could make context based around the 10 Commandments, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, and
Yeah, that's a
like,
possibility, but
right.
The rules are written in stone.
Well, yeah. And again, like I really wish I could remember that, because I wasn't expecting this debate today. That wasn't necessarily what I was expecting with this topic, and I didn't even think we'd get to this topic.
This is open panel, baby.
Hold on, guys. Hey, Dano, welcome in, guys, or welcome in, buddy. I really appreciate you dropping into the chat, especially with me just running a little bit later than I usually do. So I appreciate you jumping in. And seeing me here. So Dave, I appreciate you jumping in. I really appreciate your input. I just want it to be clear, I'm not arguing any side. I'm just pointing out the fact that you are not the one who's interpreting the plates. And the plates are the original text, right? Period. There's nothing that can be called original but the golden plates, right? We can all agree upon that.
That's Mormonism.
Well, okay, so that's fair. So what is the original text on?
The Dead Sea Scrolls.
The Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay. So if you're not pulling it from, if you don't read the Dead Sea Scrolls, that's what I'm getting at. And I apologize because I'm a potato and I'm a Mormon potato that doesn't believe in Mormonism anymore. So I don't know exactly where I stand, and that's why I say I'm not arguing any point. I just know that my history is incorrect because they have interpreted it the way that they want to interpret it, right? So again, if you don't read the Dead Sea Scrolls, you are depending upon someone else to interpret that. And if you don't have a relationship with that person, such as like Tyler was mentioning earlier about the pastor that actually speaks those other languages, and that's, I mean, very rare. I don't, I'm not saying that that's a real easily possibility. I'm just saying that we need to be questioning everything, and with questioning everything, you have to question the ethics that would then go behind the Christian ethics or whatever the case is, right? And I'm not arguing against Christian ethics or morals. I am very Christian. I believe in treating people the way that you want to be treated. Again, bring back self-respect. But again, it's possibility of a slippery slope when you give power to one group of people, and it doesn't matter what that group of people may be, right?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, just me. Looks like you might be the next one in line.
So you said you were Mormon. Mormon is the one that had Joseph Smith, right?
Correct.
Is that Mormon?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not that the Mormons misinterpreted the Bible. It's that Joseph Smith made up his own.
Right.
And then he said, look, I had this encounter. Oh my gosh. Let me write down everything that happened in my encounter. Here's the new Bible.
Correct.
So it's not like it was actually misinterpreted. That's why I say if you go back to the Holy Bible, that's where the truth is, because the Holy Bible has been translated from the original text by people who speak the languages that can translate it. So if you go back and you read the Holy Bible, that's where the truth is. So like other religions can say other things. They can say other things all they want. Can you point it out in the real Bible, the Holy Bible? Because if you can point it out in the Holy Bible, okay. But the things that they say aren't really there. That's my point. So if you can point it out in the Holy Bible, then it's true. That's my stance on that.
Well, and you keep saying Holy Bible, but that's what I'm saying is if you can't point to it in the Dead Sea Scrolls, you're depending
which are
upon
translated into the Bible that we
you're
into
depending
English.
upon someone's translation.
And it's real easy. Like I have a Bible app and it's got every single version there. It's real easy to look at English Standard Version, New International Version, New King, and you can read them all. And you can see the words are very, very just slightly different. One of them says the kingdom of heaven is near. The other one says the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And then all these other versions, kingdom of heaven at hand, kingdom of heaven near. They both say pretty much the same thing. They just worded it just a little different. But read the different versions and then figure it out. Or like he was saying, if you have a pastor who can do it, like I've had pastors before that's like this kind of love is agape love, and agape love is different than this other kind of love because in the Hebrew, blah, 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 blah. Like, I've heard that before too. So like you do have certain pastors and you'll have online pastors that'll do it. Like I'm listening to an online pastor now who breaks down like, oh, in the Hebrew version, it's this kind of word. And we don't really have a real word in English for it. So the best way they could say it was, like in that example, agape love, is to just say love, which doesn't really go into the full meaning of what agape love is. So, and I think that's why the versions will be just a little bit different. Some of them try to express that more so that you can really understand it. Other ones are just expressing it word for word. It says that word, that's the word I'm going to put. I'm not going to put the emphasis on that it's agape love. I'm just going to put the word love. So but you can just, like I said, you can have a Bible app and you can look at all the different versions for each verse to go back and forth. And the verse doesn't fundamentally say anything different in one version than it does in another. It's just slightly worded different.
All right.
Sometimes.
I get what you're saying. But you aren't the one who's translating it. You are not the one who's translating it. All right. So real quick, before anybody jumps in, let's see. Dave, that's why we have 2,000 years of church traditions. Yes, Wes Huff and biblical scholars have read those scrolls. We did question, and they were answered with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Where, I'm not arguing either side. I'm just trying to get conversation going and keep it going. And the fact that I don't know where I stand. Again, we have too many Christian in name only religions out there, and I'm tired of kowtowing to those other Christian religions and allowing them to get power, because like Trey said, if we say Christian is the new law, someone says, yeah, I'm Christian, and they're Jack Christian, and they get into power, and then they do whatever the hell they want. We can't have that, right? So I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. I'm a potato, right? I don't have the answers to anything in the world. I just know that I've lived a life that I don't recommend to other people, so I'm here to try to get to the bottom of everybody's ideology, right? Blood Logos, thank you very much for joining me, man. I appreciate you. You're good. Your stream was good earlier. If anybody in the chat has not checked out Blood Logos, definitely check him out. We got to stick together like Tyler has mentioned in the past. As always, check out Tyler TV. Mr. B, go ahead and shout out your channels while we're at it too. Or not.
My channels are AI Psalms for the Everyday Man and King Crambler's AI Jambles. If you want to check out some cool AI tunes, I do all sorts of genres of music, and I put the Psalms into a cappella format like King David originally intended.
Yes, they're well done, beautifully done. I've been keeping up with the AI Psalms, very well done. I've been keeping up with the King Cramblers, the Jambles. Definitely need some more love on that channel. Good music, good, just upbeat stuff. I do have some music on my Discord as well. I do more of, I try to put some meaning behind my music, more than just fun stuff. But I also have some fun stuff too. Other than that, let me see. Is there any other things that we need to shout out? If you haven't liked the stream, please like, subscribe to me, of course, your lovable neighborhood potato, and share me out, get me out there, and we'll get back to the conversation at hand.
Well, if we're shouting out stuff, we also got to shout out our man Tyler TV here.
Yeah, I did.
And
cool.
Fast Debate Fridays.
Yeah, Fast Debate Fridays. Let's actually shout that out. I don't know if you're going to want to do that as a separate entity or not, but we definitely want to get some interaction with that. Again, I will be moderating the debate this Friday with our own Just Me and Real Rain debating should Republicans push to repeal the 19th Amendment. Is that the prompt, Just Me? I got it right? Okay. And then I will be moderating it, so please tune in and support your very own potato. And Cool Vic, of course. I almost forgot it again. If you haven't checked out Cool Vic, of course, everybody in my chat probably has, but hopefully with this upload, it might get some more views. Check out Cool Vic. He's a cool mother. And, of course, we'll get back to the conversation at hand.
And just thank you, Dave, for putting those links up in the chat there.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave, for being the mod. Nothing against anybody. I'm not arguing any side. Please don't drop off my mod. don't abandon me because I'm a heathen or something like that. All right. So.
And I just wanted to say too, tomorrow that debate on Tyler TV. So if you're looking for it, it'll be over on Tyler TV. It's a Friday thing that we're starting every week at, I believe it's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern, or 7 Eastern time. I keep wanting to say 7:30 for some reason. 7 Eastern time. And it should be cool. Make sure you check it out. I think tomorrow's debate is going to be really, really entertaining and informative, honestly.
I'm excited
me too.
For it. For sure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. So anything else before we get back to the topic, and then we'll probably wrap it up pretty quick. Go ahead.
I had a quick question about the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Sure. What do you got?
What are they made out of?
It's a good question. That's what I again, I'm a potato, so I don't know jack squat. So
Are they written on papyri?
What's that?
Papyri? So how is a 1800-year-old papyri outlast a 2005 HD DVD copy of Troy?
Of Troy.
It's already suffered from CD rot. So you're telling me there's
Right.
no papyrus rot?
Right.
Well, they're rolled up, and I think they were inserted into some type of tubes, maybe clay tubes or something like that. And I also believe that they were able to read them without unraveling them. I'm not sure 100%. I know we have technology that can read rolled up papyri like without even unrolling it nowadays.
That's wild.
Oh, gotcha. I had a DVD case and it's still rotted. So,
That's wild.
That's wild.
was just
I
wondering.
appreciate the joke.
Tato told me to ask a question. Told me to
Right.
ask questions. Don't just take it.
Trying to keep the conversation going. I've been really enjoying these open panels, guys. I hope that people have been enjoying them. The last live open panel had more views on it than any of the other lives that I've had up to date. So I'd like to think that that's a pretty good start. So I'd like to continue on with this. But I probably should wrap it up before too much longer. I would love to get into it deeper, so we might slot this as another topic for another open panel if people would be interested in hearing about it. I know a lot of people are when you hear religion, you tune out. You're like, that. But I think it's been actually pretty fun. Making fun of myself and stuff. So, is there any other quick points that we want to put out there?
Yeah, no, I guess you can find me on panels like Terry X, Jess White's. I've been on there a couple times. Of course, Tyler TV. I'm gonna be going on his panels if he has any debates and shit. And Tato, of course.
Heck yeah.
And part of the whole cool community. So yeah, that's where I'll be at, guys.
Heck yeah. You don't have a channel or anything that you're trying to grow?
No. I should start making one so I, and just like record, I guess, or post my debates, or if I, get into whatever open panel.
Yeah. Whenever you do these, I can always send you the whatever. Fuck, I'm a potato, but the data file of the live, and you can clip it up and put it on a channel. We can build you a channel if you want.
Yeah, I can probably do it.
If you don't, no pressure, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said before,
Yeah,
I want to help people build.
You already told me, but I'm not everybody could do that shit. So
Sure. I got you.
I'm good.
Okay.
And for everybody, I mean,
Yeah, I'll have you on every time that you want, for sure, buddy. Anything else? Anything else that anybody wants to put in?
I can actually shout out my channel.
Yes.
Trey _SELOR. I make original videos. My most recent one is Blade Runner Where's Waldo. I also have a series called Retro Roundup, The Unfair Way, and Trey Plays.
Nice. Right on. Thank you for shouting that out, because I kind of spaced that. So appreciate you reminding me and getting your channel out there as well. Anything else that we want to shout out, or any other points that you want to put in on the debate before we slot it for maybe another time? Nope. Sounds like it's crickets. Where's my soundboard? Yeah, there it is.
Well, I got one last thing to say. And I'll take off afterwards.
Sure. What do you got, Trey?
Oh yeah. So this is my own quote. I made it up by myself. No AI or anything. Okay. It's all from my brain.
Okay.
It is explore the world with curiosity. Change the world with imagination. And I say thank you.
Heck yeah. Thanks for joining. You have yourself a very good night, man.
Nice meeting you, dude.
Take care, buddy. Yeah, that's actually a very profound statement. I like that.
I like that trade, man. He's
Right?
cool to talk to.
It's a good thing that I have that recorded because I'm a potato and I'll forget it as soon as I stop this stream. But I'll probably try to slot that into my memory and use it from time to time. All right. I just, again, want to thank everybody for joining. Really appreciate the support that I've been getting. Tyler, we're definitely going to need to do another collab sometime if you're down. Other than that, I think that might be all other than my outro. So you guys have yourself a wonderful night, and I'll probably see you in the Discord.
Take care, chat.
Sure.
Thank you.
Care,
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Tater.
Have a good
God
one,
bless. Christ is God.
Christ is God, indeed.
Christ is God.
All right. Okay, so appreciate everybody coming in and supporting our very own I don't want to say debaters because we're not debating on this channel. We're just having discussions and trying to move conversations forward. Again, I want it to be very clear. I'm not taking a side on any of these subjects. I'm just trying to bring our awareness into a higher plane, if you will. Question everything, folks. If it's not coming directly from God, question it. And if it's coming directly from God, question it. So question everything, my friends. As for now, as always, please take care of yourselves out there. Remember those Second Amendment rights inside of the United States. Your response time will always be faster than that of the police. Keep your piece handy. I want you to stay around as long as possible. You're very important to me and everyone. Outside of the nation, outside of the United States, as always, take care of yourselves and stop giving up your rights. Your rights are important to you and to us here in the United States, because as they fall, we fall. For now, please take care of yourselves out there, and your friendly neighborhood potato signing off of our first open panel.
Neon signs flicker in the rain. Life's a highway, but it ain't one lane. Got a heart like a dashboard light, blinking steady through the endless night. Feel the weight, but don't let it sink you. Breathe it out like the smoke.
a fire in the dark, a line in the sand. He didn't bow when the pressure came, didn't trade conviction for comfort or fame. When truth got heavy and fear ran deep, Charlie Kirk stood, wouldn't retreat. Faith in his chest, spine forged of steel, spoke what was real when lies felt real. When silence paid, when courage burned, he took the heat and the fire turned. They tried to drown it, tried to break the spark, but truth cut sharp in the deepest dark. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame, not for applause, not chasing a name. He stood for God when the cost was high. Now we stand tall, no compromise. The fiery lit still burns in us, through the noise, through the hate, through the dust. The torch is ours, the line is drawn. We are Charlie Kirk, and we carry on. From hostile halls to open ground, he held